Blimey, it's hot. Oh. RevelatorAlf. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. It is baking hot here. We are in the second wave, heat wave of the UK. So I think today it's over 33 or 34 degrees. A couple of weeks ago it touched over 40. So yeah, it's hot. Especially for us in the UK, because we're not really used to this kind of weather. Well, I suppose we'll all have to get used to it with global warming, won't we? So I've ridden out of my area today, and basically I've gone over to a couple of counties over into Wiltshire, and going to this place called Chopper's Cafe. Never been to before, but I thought I'd come along these great riding roads, so I thought I'd bring you along for the ride. I suppose one of the reasons for this video is to say, well, you know, this is about 46 miles away from my home, and I've always had this strong belief that you can make content, or motorcycle content in this case, you know, within 30-50 miles of your you know, your home, wherever you're based. You can make some really great content. So my advice to anybody is, you know, you don't have to go on these big long tours. You can just go explore your local area. And I'm always going off on my longer tours, but also shorter day tours. And I do a lot of riding on roads that I've not been on before or not travelled on for a long time. And all within a 30-40 mile radius of where I live. Now, I will say this about England. There is a lot of hidden history here. So you got, you know, hedges and, you know, tall hedges. And every now and again, if you go out into the countryside, you might see big gates or big, you know, entrance. But there doesn't seem to be anything beyond it, because it's like a big estate, you see. And I've kind of touched on this before as well. So you'd be riding along and you think, oh, what's behind there? But you can't see it from the road because it's all private. But if you can get access to it, there's loads going on behind the hedges. Now, depending where you are in England, you can get off the beaten track on trails, byways, what we call them, really, sort of dirt trails. And yeah, you can get access to these places, but most of the time you can't. You either have to, not with a motorbike, by the way, you know, you can get it on a bicycle or certainly on foot, on footpaths. And it's well worth going to explore these places because it's just amazing, really. The other reason I'm making this video is because I've noticed in my local area that for some reason they seem to be restoring the roads in a proper way, or remaking the roads in a proper way. You see, what they used to do for the longest time is just they used to scrape the roads, all the main roads, and then they used to cover it with some kind of rough cast. So you had all loose chippings all over the place, and it was a real hazard for motorcyclists especially, and cyclists as well, because they just put a layer of tar over and spray over the loose chippings, and they'd rely on the traffic, the volume of traffic, just to bed it all down. So over to you guys. If you've noticed in your area, in the UK, in England and Wales and Scotland, Northern Ireland, or even in the, you know, in Ireland itself, if you've noticed that they've stopped doing this rough casting or whatever the term is, and they're actually doing the roads properly, or resurfacing the roads properly, let us know why this sudden change in policy. Honestly, I'm not complaining, because I think it's great. I think they're finally doing something right. And, you know, in my particular area where I live, there are some shocking roads, or there have been, and they finally fixed them. So now they're silky smooth, which is really nice. I'm not going to complain against that, am I? Right, onwards with the trip. I'm going to take you down the road to this cafe and go and enjoy a nice cup of tea. Let's get over there. Free advertising. Right, there we are. I've arrived here at Chopper's Cafe here in Wiltshire. I'm actually in Wiltshire now, just on the border of a military training area. This Salisbury plain just down the road, so that might come in for another video another date, but anyway, I thought I'd show you these lovely roads around here. If you're ever in this area, come ride in Wiltshire. Honestly, the roads are really spectacular. The countryside is fantastic, and there's lots of these kind of hidden entrances to estates that you just ride past. You think, oh, what's that then? You know, so there's lots of oddities in this area. There's lots of little things that you wouldn't normally see. I suppose you could say this for any area that you ride in the UK, but I don't know, I find this particular area of the UK, Wiltshire, lots of off-road riding routes, and the roads are really, well, they're great to ride on as well. But anyway, on to the next video, whenever that is. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com, and well, in a couple of days there'll be a custom show here, custom bike show. Maybe I should come back. Right, catch you again. Ta-da.